Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 90. Sol Standard Date 4th of the 2nd, 3267. Basilisk watched on in trepidation as the two warlords inched ever closer, using the massive body of the dead third as a shield. The priest behind them started to glow green. Basilisk heard the chant begin. Tema ved mel, dendimos warato karatana. Basilisk's eyes widened and he thought, that thing just cast an attack spell. I need to defend, now. Basilisk's eyes turned their pale green and began to brighten to an emerald green as he chanted, Hector ven maleficus vorma spade, he said, as the space in front of his fleet erupted into a massive flaming wall, covered in the forms of those trapped within the veil. The wall formed just in time. The Azarian chant had summoned blades of compressed veil energy and flung them at over 12 C. The wall Basilisk had summoned was being pounded so hard that the impacts could be heard through vacuum. Basilisk was struggling to hold back the tide of veil blades while he wasn't able to draw from the veil itself. All he had was the power he had stored within himself. But if he opened an unshielded veil rift inside the ship, that would put everyone inside the ship at terrible risk. No, he couldn't do that to these people. He needed to make do with what he had, or figure out a workaround. Aurelius was staring in awe at the war formed by his Emperor's own will. He looked over to the Emperor, who was doing all he could to protect them. Then he saw the look in Basilisk's eyes. He saw through the green veil power emanating from them, and he could tell. Basilisk was actually worried. Most of the time Aurelius has seen that the Emperor simply wanted everyone to stand on their own 2 feet. He just wanted humanity to be strong as a whole. This was not like those times. Aurelius snapped a salute to the Emperor. My lord, what do you need me to do? Is there any way I could help? He asked. Basilisk looked over at Aurelius and smiled. I am at a bit of a loss, actually. I need to open a rift that will be unshielded so that I can recharge my power. But if I were to open that here, well, about 85% of the soldiers aboard this vessel would lose their sanity. Another 14% would be in need of extensive therapy, but would survive with their sanity intact. The other 1% would likely be just fine. They would be people with affinity towards Veil, he said. Aurelius was taken aback at how bad it actually was, let alone how nonchalantly the Emperor said it. So, you just need to open a rift, but you can't do so on the ship? He asked. Basilisk nodded yes, and Aurelius started bouncing ideas off of him. How about we evacuate? We can go to the other ships, he said. Basilisk shook his head. No, that won't work. If I open it here, you lot can never set foot in here again. The ship itself will soak up the veil and become one with it, he said. Aurelius started chewing on his fingernail as he thought. That's when it hit him. A terrible idea at best. A catastrophic idea at worst. We could, shoot you out into the expanse of space. He stammered a bit before continuing. Well, you are a full conversion cyborg. Space will not hurt you, he said, while rubbing his hands together in anxiety. Basilisk just let his jaw fall open as he stared at Aurelius. Aurelius prepared for the worst as the Emperor had the most dumbfounded look on his face that could be mustered. Then Basilisk facepalmed and groaned. Of fucking course, why didn't I think of that? Holy hell, I can't believe that I'm this dumb. Basilisk straightened out and looked down to Aurelius. Please, shoot me out of a magnetic accelerated cannon, he said, stone-faced. Aurelius just stared up at the Emperor. He thought to himself as he turned to go down to the nearest mag AC cannon, I can't believe this shit is actually going to happen. Basilisk was still trying to hold his spell that was rapidly draining his power as he walked down to the cannon.